I heard it, and this was from years ago. He said, "You can't trust the blacks with the money. You can't trust the blacks with the money."
Well, okay, so all right, so
And
the argument,
him and his family have a
the arg-
history of real estate not immigration, but what's the word?
so the
Um,
discrimination.
discrimination.
But the
Privilege,
argument,
yes.
the reason why I'm somewhat arguing with you is because the relative scumbagness. If you really able to just take a look at some of the people, such as a Bill Clinton, such as a Joe Biden, if you're able to no, listen, if you're able to take a look at the relative scumbagness, you'll actually see it. The reason why you don't see it is because yes, Donald Trump's is much more overt. No one's going to argue with you with that. But when you start to look at things like morality and things like that, if you actually look at some of the other people who you think are so great or they're on the
Nobody
Democratic
said
side.
that though. Nobody
No,
said that.
I'm giving you relative scumbagness. That's what I'm saying. To give you a
And Donald
relative,
Trump takes the cake.
that's fine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't see it like that. What I'm saying is that what's important to me, in my opinion, what's important is that you understand the relative scumbagness of the people that you're looking at. Because you can have two people who are scumbags standing right next to each other. They just do it a little differently.
Let me tell you something.
Wait, listen, it's important. It's important, in my opinion, for one to be able to see that. Because if you can't see it in politics, that's how you really get tricked when you can't see it. The best thing about, I'm not saying that you should have voted for Trump. What I'm saying is that on the Democratic side, there's a lot that people haven't been able to see because everybody is feeling emotional, and that's what's blinding people. Well, let me let y'all talk, man. What do y'all
I
think
just think
first?
I think the Clinton analogy is maybe not necessarily the best one. I hear what you're saying,
Yeah,
and I'm not saying you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, but the Clinton analogy, his crime wasn't a crime against the country. It was a crime against his wife. He cheated on his wife. That happens every day. People do that. Women cheat, men cheat, people cheat. His the crime was infidelity, right? I think the thing is when we look at the the scumbagness of the people, it is very overt with this guy, right? His character as a person is what I think we're all against. It's not so. Listen, if I wasn't necessarily 100% down, in for Kamala, I wasn't. And
right,
I told you in a couple episodes ago, if they would have presented somebody else, you might have got me to sway.
right.
But this guy is the character of the man that I can't sit with, and not just him. It's the emboldenedness and the empowerment that the people who support him think they have when he goes in office. It's a whole wave of like it's just everything becomes overt, and what used to be covert racism becomes overt now. People just it's a
Bold with
change
it.
in the winds when he gets in office, and it's just a thing, bro. So it's the character of this person that at least I have a problem with. All things considered,
I can respect
Garbage
that.
can lid.
garbage can lid, absolutely.
You still doing the Cliff Huxtable garbage
That's what
can
it is,
analogy?
bro. It's the garbage can lid.
Mr. Zell Cross, please. I've been talking. I want y'all to say what y'all think.
No, I just think that Trump is very similar to another person that we had in office that was president that stepped down before he was impeached, and his acts were prisonable. Richard Nixon. He reminds me of Richard Nixon.
Nixon
Hands
was
down.
smart enough to step down.
Tricky
He was
Nixon.
smart enough to step down before he got impeached.
He
Oh
did. He
man,
stepped
you're
down.
gonna compare Trump
Yeah,
to
he was smart
Nixon?
enough to do that.
Yes, I'm going to compare him to Tricky Dick.
You know how
Okay.
tricky. You know how bad Tricky Dick was.
You know how bad Trump is?
He ain't as bad as Richard
Thank
Nixon.
you.
He
Somebody
ain't even
tell
close to
him.
Richard Nixon.
All he do is lie. Trump lies so much, man. He
You know what I'm
lied,
saying?
lie on top of
Again,
lies on top
again,
of lies
Soup.
on top of lies. And hey, man, people
Nix-
like him anyway. They like, you know what?
Nixon,
It's
Nixon
okay.
stepped down so he didn't get impeached.
He
Trump
did.
took two impeachments. He took two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Look,
did you see?
So
But what?
Trump had his look, he had his
Rich,
he's been indicted. He's a felon. But he had his sentencing pushed back to the end of November so he could become president before he can get sentenced because you can't
but
send a sitting president to jail.
He can still pardon himself.
that
He worked
case,
it out.
that Stormy Daniels case is really spooky. You guys got to take a look at that case. It's really spooky. It's really. I mean, most people when you really. On the face of it, you can say he's convicted, but go take a look at that case. Look at the bones, the bones and the frame of that case.
on the face of it, you can say he's convicted.
Well, I'm saying
The
that on the face
record
of it.
says he's convicted.
Well, what I'm saying is that the case in and of itself is a very flimsy, spooky little case. Like if they had did that case against Clinton or anybody else, I'd be like, nah, get out of here. Because what y'all trying to do, y'all are trying to just. That's why they call it the greatest comeback of history now, because they basically just been trying to get him out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Is
That's
that what they're
really what it
calling it?
is. They wanted him out of. They didn't want him to run again. And quite honestly, so
He should have sat his old ass down somewhere.
there's a couple of things though. There's a couple of things